A few months ago, we untied the lines in Langkawi and pointed Borealis 1 north towards Thailand, not really knowing what we'd find. What we found was far more than another place on the map. Towering limestone islands rising out of the sea, crystal clear water filled with tropical fish, unforgettable sunsets, rescued elephants, incredible food, and anchorages we'd be talking about for years. It reminded us why we chose this life in the first place. This wasn't just another sailing adventure. It was the beginning of our first real adventure aboard Borealis 1, and honestly, it went far beyond anything we expected.
Hi, I am David. You probably have noticed I have a speech impediment and other differences. It's because I am totally deaf in my left ear and I have only 40% hearing in my right ear. And I was also born into an abusive home, and I was in foster care from age 6 to 9, and I was adopted by my family at the age of 9. I have a passion for marine technology, which means I am the person that becomes the pretzel and also the one that's doing the boat yoga. After months of doing that, we're finally going to Thailand, thank goodness, because now instead of turning myself into a pretzel, I get to go swimming, snorkeling, and other adventures that Thailand has to offer. Because who doesn't want to go to Thailand? Also, stay with us and watch this video so you can see our adventure, and looking forward to hearing from you.
People often ask what it's like to leave on passage. The truth is, it starts long before we untie the dock lines. Every departure has its own routine. First, we bring the boat to life by powering up the engine systems and starting each engine. Then everyone has a job. The boys make sure the cats are safely inside, get the dogs secured in the cockpit, and close every hatch around the boat. Anything left open can let in seawater once we're underway. Next comes the inside. Breakfast dishes are put away, schoolwork is packed up, and everything is stowed so it won't slide or fall once we start moving. What did you just do?
Save the bee.
Saved a bee. Yes, good. Once everything is secure, we roll up the cockpit curtains, close the last of the hatches, lock the animal gates into place, and power up the navigation instruments. Only then are we ready to leave. With Borealis prepared and our crew ready for another adventure, it was time to cast off the lines, leave Langkawi behind, and set our course for Thailand. Our crossing couldn't have been much better. Light winds, calm seas, clear skies, it all made for a relaxing day under sail. And one of the best parts about this lifestyle is that getting there is just as enjoyable as arriving. There's no rush, no traffic, no tight schedule. Just the sound of the water moving past the hulls and the excitement of wondering what the next destination would be like. By the afternoon, the islands of southern Thailand began to appear on the horizon. As Koh Lipe grew larger, we could already see why so many sailors talk about this part of the Andaman Sea. We dropped the dinghy in the water, jumped in for our first swim in Thailand, and spent the afternoon simply enjoying being there. Grace, of course, wasn't about to miss out on the fun, and she joined us in the water before we all headed over to the beach. We wrapped up the day floating beside Borealis 1 in our inflatable tubes, watching the kids, Grace, and the warm tropical water reminding us that this was exactly why we set sail.
After a wonderful stay in Koh Lipe, it was time to head farther north. Our next destination was Koh Rok Noi, about 48 nautical miles away, and a full day's journey for Borealis. Unfortunately, the wind had other plans. Most of the day, the Andaman Sea was almost completely calm. We searched for wind whenever we could find it and managed to hoist the sails a couple of times, but the breeze never lasted long enough to keep us moving. The rest of the trip would have to be under power. Even without the sails drawing, there was something peaceful about spending the day on the water, with nothing but calm seas stretching to the horizon, and it gave us time to slow down and enjoy the journey. By late afternoon, we were making our way between the islands toward one of the national park mooring buoys. The turquoise water and dramatic scenery told us we'd arrived somewhere special.
I don't know if you are able to see, but we are moored on a coral reef, and look at the number of fish. Can you see them? We are surrounded by fish. Alex even saw a black tip reef shark, and after lunch today we are going to go snorkeling.
After spending time watching the colorful fish swimming all around Borealis, we climbed into the skiff to explore. Before long, everyone was back in the water, swimming, laughing, and making the most of another beautiful afternoon in Thailand. Meanwhile, Figaro had no interest in getting wet. He stretched out on his back aboard Borealis, completely relaxed, with the tip of his tongue sticking out like he didn't have a single worry in the world. As the sun slipped below the horizon, Koh Rok Noi gave us another unforgettable sunset.
After Koh Rok Noi, we sailed about 35 miles to Long Beach on Koh Lanta. It was another beautiful day in the water, and before long we were dropping the anchor and heading ashore. Our first stop was lunch. One thing I figured out pretty quickly is that it's really hard to find bad food in Thailand. Everything we ate was so good. Then it was time for the thing I had been looking for too. First thing, we got to feed them, and they were really gentle. Then we rubbed mud all over them, which was awesome. I think they liked it almost as much as we did. After that, we walked with them into the water. Swimming with an elephant is something I'll never forget. They're huge, but they're also really calm and friendly. Being that close to them was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
How was the elephant trip, guys?
It was so
awesome.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, did you ever think you'd be that close to elephants?
No.
Feeding elephants? Tom, you ever think you were going to swim with elephants?
No.
Or wash elephants? Right? How awesome is that?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we get to do when we're up in Phuket.
Yeah.
We haven't even planned that yet,
That's
so
awesome.
that's kind of cool.
Awesome thing, those
Well,
elephants.
well, that's a pretty cool thing.
All right.
Okay, let's have lunch.
Let's have lunch.
After a day like that, watching the sunset back at Long Beach was the perfect ending. Koh Lanta turned out to be one of my favorite stops in Thailand.
From Koh Lanta, we continued north toward one of Thailand's most famous island groups, the Phi Phi Islands. Even before we arrived, we could see the towering limestone cliffs rising out of the sea. We picked up a mooring just outside Monkey Beach near Tonsai Bay, where snorkelers, tour boats, and beachgoers filled the crystal clear water. Here we are in the Phi Phi Islands on our mooring. Absolutely gorgeous scenery for the next day or two, however long we decide to stay here before we head to Phuket. We have a couple of neighbors moored up. There's our mooring mall. There's the rest of our view. Unbelievable. Pretty busy right now, but they say around 5 o'clock people go home. So, a nice quiet night. Once we were settled, we climbed into the dinghy and headed ashore for dinner. One of the things we've enjoyed most about Thailand is that every island has its own personality. But one thing has stayed the same everywhere we've gone. The food has been outstanding. After another great meal, we wandered through the town before heading back to Borealis. As the day came to a close, Tom and Grace did what they do almost every evening. They turned the bow of the boat into their own playground, racing back and forth until the last light disappeared behind the cliffs. And it's those kind of simple moments that have become some of our most favorite memories.
Every destination has a story. Thanks for joining us as we go beyond. If you enjoyed this adventure, we would love to have you along for the next one. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Come and explore the world with us. In our next episode, we will spend 6 weeks exploring Phuket and the surrounding islands. Visit a working coral farm, discover incredible local food, and experience even more of Thailand's amazing culture. We'll see you in the next adventure.